Have you heard of FNAF Freddy's Plus? Obviously you have. It's become one of the most iconic FNAF Freddy's fan games for all the wrong reasons. And I want to talk about it because of a most recent controversy that had nothing to do with the official game. It had something to do with the fan game of the official game. Anyway, what is FNAF Freddy's Plus? Let me give you a little bit of a history on it. It all started with a creator, fuhnaff, creating a open source fan game of FNAF Freddy's 2. And Scott Cawthon didn't like that, so he took down the game, and in return, fuhnaff sent a nice email explaining everything wrong with the series from a game design standpoint, saying, oh, you did this wrong, I would have done this, would have done that. And that caused Scott Cawthon to respond in a very angry way, saying, well, then why don't you just make the game? Because he let fuhnaff make a FNAF Freddy's remake, an official one, under the Fazbear Fanverse initiative, which is kind of a shit show. But he basically just like, well, if you have all these issues, why don't you just make a FNAF Freddy's game? And for years, we didn't really get that much info on it, because this is a thing that's been going on for years, by the way. Like, it wasn't like this was a recent development. It's been going on for years, and we wouldn't get that much info on the game. Once in a while we would get screenshots, we would get these VHS tapes, which I thought was really cool, photos, stuff like that. Like, not a lot, but you know, enough to let us know that this game is still in development. At one point we literally got gameplay footage as well, but as a whole this game was taking quite a while to release, so much so that earlier this year someone just made the game. Everyone was eagerly awaiting the release of FNAF Freddy's Plus until the Steam page just randomly disappeared, and everyone was wondering, wait, was this game canceled? Yes it was, but not by Scott Cawthon. I want to make that clear. It wasn't Scott Cawthon that canceled it, it was fuhnaff. There was an entire controversy surrounding this, and I don't really want to go too deep into it, mostly because I don't know all the information, but all I'll tell you is that fuhnaff's fans started harassing someone on Twitter, sending death threats, harassment, stuff like that, and fuhnaff's response was absolutely terrible. This whole thing led up to FNAF Freddy's Plus being canceled, but recently we got a brand new FNAF Freddy's Plus fan game, and it looks great. It looks really good. All the big content creators were playing it except for Markiplier, and just as a whole it looked really good, but there was just one issue, and that was phone guy. It sounded like an absolute shit.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I know it won't be an easy job, although
it sounded like a robot trying to recreate Scott Cawthon's voice, because we don't know Scott Cawthon, he's phone guy. A little fun fact for you in this video. Just something sounded off, and I just assumed it was AI, and guess what? I was right, because Scott Cawthon took down FNAF Freddy's Plus, the fan game. He just took it down, and the reason why is because they used an AI version of his voice without his permission. Basically, Scott Cawthon took down the game as well as all the videos about the game, because if you go like on Dawko's page, like that's the one I checked, videos are gone. They're absolutely gone. And I think this leads into a bigger subject relating to AI as a whole, and it's something I want to talk about because I think is a very interesting looking rabbit hole. Recorded this part 3 section. I recorded this part 3 times now because I just kept rambling on and on. So I'm gonna make this as simple as possible because I feel like this could just be a discussion for another video. Here is my personal hot take. You're gonna probably disagree with me. You shouldn't replace voice actors with AI. I feel like AI voices should be used for a shitpost. You know, it's funny. It's funny and it doesn't harm anyone because everyone can tell that it's a shitpost. If you're using AI in a project that you're making, like a fan project or even an official project, you shouldn't use AI voices to recreate someone's voice. Just get a voice actor to voice act. It is literally their job. You don't need AI to get voices. Literally just get a fucking voice actor. I don't get why people are relying on AI voices for voice actors when you're never going to get the same results as you would getting an actual voice actor. Like, if you need a voice actor, I'll gladly voice act. You know, I'll sound like absolute shit, but I'll voice act. And I feel like this is becoming a bigger issue every day. There is no law against people stealing your voice and using it without your permission to say things that you never said. It's the same thing with deepfakes. Like, deepfakes is absolutely scary what you could do with deepfakes. So I think as a whole, AI should be regulated and should have laws around it. Like, you shouldn't be using it to recreate someone's voice. Like, I just don't think that's okay. Anyway, that's all I have to say. The ending just kind of fell apart there, but as a whole, I think FNAF Freddy's Plus is an interesting rabbit hole to talk about.
What insurance provider do you freaks have? The fuck is insurance?